Estimating the cost of a 200 amp electrical service installation involves considering both material and labor expenses. Firstly, the materials required typically include a 200 amp service panel, which can cost around $150. Secondly, a 200 amp outdoor disconnect is needed, estimated at $100. Thirdly, the conduit for the service entrance, such as 2-inch polyvinyl chloride pipe, can add about $100 for a 100-foot length. Fourthly, the service entrance cable itself, in this case 75 feet, might cost around $150. Fifthly, grounding is essential, requiring 2 ground rods priced at approximately $20. Sixthly, the grounding wire, like 100 feet of number 4 wire, could cost $50. Now let's consider the labor costs. The installation of the service panel involves mounting it securely and connecting the necessary circuits. This may amount to around $200. Running the 2-inch polyvinyl chloride pipe from the meter to the point of entry could cost $100, which includes trenching and proper installation. Connecting the service cable to the panel and the disconnect switch requires careful work to ensure secure and safe connections, and may be an additional $100. Installing the ground rods, which involves driving them into the earth and connecting them to the grounding system, could cost $50. Finally, connecting the wire to the water meter, a crucial part of the grounding system, might also cost around $50. Adding up all these costs, the total estimated cost for this 200 amp electrical service installation is $920. It is important to remember that these are just estimates and actual costs may vary. Factors affecting the overall cost can include the complexity of the installation, any unforeseen issues that arise during the work, and regional differences in labor rates and material prices. It is also important to verify the local requirements and costs from your utility provider when doing new construction or service upgrades. Ensure that all work is performed by a licensed electrician to meet safety standards and local electrical codes. When selecting a location for your electrical service, there are a few key things to consider. Firstly, accessibility. The service location needs to be easily accessible for both the utility company and for maintenance purposes. Secondly, clearance. Ensure that there is enough clearance around the service equipment as specified by the National Electrical Code, also known as NEC. This is typically outlined in NEC Article 110.26. Thirdly, environmental factors. Avoid areas that are prone to flooding or excessive moisture. Lastly, aesthetics. Consider the visual impact of the service location on the overall appearance of the building. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. It provides a path for fault current to return to the source, tripping a breaker or fuse and preventing electrical shock. The NEC specifies grounding requirements, which vary depending on the system voltage and configuration. For a 200 amp service, the NEC typically requires 2 ground rods, spaced at least 6 feet apart. The grounding electrode conductor, which connects the ground rods to the service panel, must be sized according to NEC Table 250.66. Additionally, the water pipe must also be bonded to the grounding system. This is achieved by connecting a bonding jumper from the service panel to the metal water pipe within 5 feet of its entrance to the building. The size of the bonding jumper is determined by NEC Table 250.102 cone. The service entrance cable is a crucial component of the electrical service as it carries the electricity from the utility company to the service panel. The size of the service entrance cable must be adequate to handle the calculated load of the building. NEC Table 310.16 provides ampacity ratings for various sizes of conductors. For a 200 amp service, the service entrance cable must have an ampacity of at least 200 amps. When selecting the service entrance cable, it is important to consider the insulation type, voltage rating, and environmental conditions. The cable must be suitable for direct burial or installation in conduit depending on the specific requirements of the installation. The service panel is the heart of the electrical system, distributing power to various circuits throughout the building. The service panel must be properly sized to accommodate the expected load. The main breaker in the service panel protects the entire electrical system from overloads and short circuits. The branch circuit breakers protect individual circuits from overloads and short circuits. The service panel must be installed in a location that is readily accessible and free from obstructions. The NEC specifies working clearances around electrical equipment, which must be maintained to ensure safe access for maintenance and repairs. The outdoor disconnect switch is a safety device that allows you to quickly disconnect power to the building in case of an emergency. The disconnect switch must be readily accessible and clearly labeled. The disconnect switch must be rated for the same voltage and current as the service panel. The disconnect switch must be installed in a weatherproof enclosure if it is located outdoors. The NEC requires that all electrical work be performed by qualified personnel in accordance with the applicable codes and standards. It is important to obtain the necessary permits and inspections before starting any electrical work. This ensures that the work is performed safely and correctly, and that it complies with all applicable regulations. Ignoring electrical codes and safety standards can lead to serious consequences, including electrical shock, fire, and property damage. When working with electricity, it is important to take the following safety precautions. Firstly, always turn off the power at the main breaker before working on any electrical circuits. Secondly, use insulated tools and equipment. Thirdly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves. Fourthly, never work on electrical circuits while standing in water or on a wet surface. Fifthly, if you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician. Understanding electrical concepts like voltage, current, resistance, and power is crucial for comprehending how electrical systems work. Voltage is the electrical potential difference between 2 points. It is measured in volts. Current is the flow of electrical charge. It is measured in amps. Resistance is the opposition to the flow of electrical current. It is measured in ohms. Power is the rate at which electrical energy is transferred. It is measured in watts. Ohm's law states that the voltage across a conductor is directly proportional to the current flowing through it and the resistance of the conductor. This can be expressed as voltage equals current times resistance, or volts equals amps times ohms. The power formula states that power is equal to voltage times current. This can be expressed as power equals volts times amps, or watts equals volts times amps. These fundamental concepts are essential for understanding how electrical circuits work and for troubleshooting electrical problems. When performing electrical calculations, it is important to use the correct formulas and units of measurement. For example, when calculating the voltage drop in a circuit, you need to consider the length of the wire, the current flowing through the wire, and the resistance of the wire. The voltage drop should not exceed 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. Exceeding these limits can cause problems with the performance of electrical equipment. When selecting electrical components, it is important to choose components that are rated for the voltage, current, and environmental conditions of the application. For example, when selecting a breaker, it is important to choose a breaker that is rated for the voltage and current of the circuit it is protecting. The breaker must also be suitable for the ambient temperature and humidity of the location where it will be installed. Using undersized or incorrectly rated components can lead to overheating, failure, and potential safety hazards. Electrical systems are complex and require careful planning, installation, and maintenance. It is important to have a good understanding of electrical concepts, codes, and safety standards before working on any electrical circuits. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician. A licensed electrician has the knowledge, skills, and experience to perform electrical work safely and correctly. They can also help you troubleshoot electrical problems and ensure that your electrical system is up to code. Regular maintenance of your electrical system is essential for ensuring its safe and reliable operation. This includes inspecting wiring, connections, and components for signs of wear and tear. It also includes testing breakers and ground fault circuit interrupters, also known as GFCIs, to ensure that they are functioning properly. Replacing worn or damaged components can help prevent electrical problems and extend the life of your electrical system. When performing any electrical work, it is important to follow all applicable codes and standards. The NEC is the most widely used electrical code in the United States. It provides comprehensive guidelines for the safe installation and maintenance of electrical systems. Local electrical codes may also apply, so it is important to check with your local building department to ensure that you are complying with all applicable regulations. Failure to comply with electrical codes can result in fines, penalties, and potential safety hazards. Electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By taking the necessary precautions and following all applicable codes and standards, you can help prevent electrical accidents and ensure the safety of yourself and others. Remember to always turn off the power before working on any electrical circuits, use insulated tools and equipment, and wear appropriate personal protective equipment. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician.